MindLift Success Academy presents How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, full chapter by chapter summary introduction. Welcome to MindLift Success Academy. Welcome, beautiful minds. Welcome, powerful achievers. Welcome to MindLift Success Academy, the home of personal transformation, growth, mastery, and mental elevation. Today, you are about to experience something rare, deep, and life-changing. A richly detailed, chapter-by-chapter wisdom-soaked exploration of one of the most important personal development books ever written, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This isn't just a summary. This is a masterclass on human psychology, influence, communication, success, and leadership. Before we begin this transformational journey, please take 3 seconds to subscribe to MindLift Success Academy. Like this video, share this with someone who loves growth. Your support helps this movement grow across the world. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. This section is the foundation of all human interaction. Carnegie believed that if you master these first few principles, your relationships, career, communication, and influence will grow exponentially. He said, dealing with people is the biggest problem you will face. But if you understand how people think, what they crave, and how they respond emotionally, then influence becomes natural. Let's begin. Chapter 1. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Principle: don't criticize, condemn, or complain. This principle is the bedrock of everything Carnegie teaches. He begins with a powerful truth. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's pride, hurts their sense of importance, and arouses resentment. Think about this for a moment. Has anyone ever criticized you harshly? Did it inspire you? Did it motivate you to change? Probably not. Criticism rarely causes positive transformation. Instead, it triggers defensiveness, anger, shame, or rebellion. Carnegie illustrates this with the story of Al Capone, one of the most feared criminals in American history. Even he never blamed himself. He said, "I spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time, and all I get is abuse." Even the worst criminals believe they are justified. If criminals defend themselves, imagine ordinary people. Why criticism doesn't work. Carnegie explains that people don't think they are wrong, even when they clearly are. When you criticize someone, they feel attacked. Their ego is wounded. Their sense of importance is damaged. They defend themselves. They close their heart. What to do? Instead, try to understand their perspective. Show empathy. Ask, why would a reasonable person act this way? Empathy opens hearts. Criticism closes them. Chapter 2. The Big Secret of Dealing with People Principle. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Carnegie reveals what he calls the deepest craving of human nature. People crave being appreciated, not flattered, not manipulated, not deceived, appreciated. Flattery is fake. Appreciation is genuine. Flattery says what people want to hear. Appreciation says what is true and meaningful. The craving for importance, Carnegie argues that human beings want respect, recognition, appreciation, a feeling of value. Psychologists confirm this. The desire to feel important is as basic as food, shelter, and safety. Story: Charles Schwab, the $75,000 a year man. At a time when most people earned $2 a day, Charles Schwab earned an unheard of $75,000 a year. Why? Because Schwab mastered one thing. I am hearty in my approbation and lavish in my praise. He motivated people by appreciating their strengths, not harassing their weaknesses. One day he found employees smoking below a no smoking sign. Instead of scolding them, he said, "Gentlemen, you are such good workers. I know you'll protect company property. Thank you for being responsible." They crushed their cigarettes immediately, out of respect, not fear. Application. Try this simple practice every day. Appreciate one person sincerely. Recognize what they do well. Acknowledge small improvements. Say thank you and mean it. This principle alone can save marriages, transform workplaces, and deepen friendships. Chapter 3. He who can do this has the whole world with him. Principle: arouse in the other person an eager want. This is one of the greatest secrets of influence. Carnegie makes it clear: the only way to influence someone is to talk about what they want. Not what you want, not what you think they should want, not what benefits you. People are driven by their own desires. What most people do, they say, "I want you to help me. I want you to change this. I want you to agree with me." They focus on themselves, but true influence means asking, what does this person want? How can my idea help them? How can their success improve their life? Story: Henry Ford's success. Ford built one of the largest empires by focusing on what ordinary people wanted: an affordable car. Others focused on fancy cars. Ford focused on people's desires. Application. Before your next conversation, ask yourself, what does this person value? What are they afraid of? What are they trying to achieve? How can my idea help them succeed? This one shift changes everything. Mid-video break, MindLift Success Academy reminder. You're doing great. If you're still watching, it means you value deep wisdom. Please subscribe to MindLift Success Academy. Share this video, comment, "I'm growing," to inspire others. Part 2. 6 ways to make people like you. Human connection is the secret currency of influence. Carnegie teaches that people don't follow titles. They follow emotions. They follow connection. They follow those who make them feel seen, valued, and important. When you master the 6 principles in this section, people naturally gravitate toward you. You become magnetic. You become unforgettable. You become the kind of person others want to help, support, and follow. Chapter 1. Do this, and you'll be welcome anywhere. Principle: become genuinely interested in other people. This is not about pretending. This is not about tricking people. It's about shifting your focus from me to you. Carnegie says, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get people interested in you. People love to talk to someone who cares, someone who listens, someone who wants to understand them. Why this works? Humans are wired for connection. When someone shows interest in us, our brain releases positive chemicals, dopamine and oxytocin. We feel accepted, respected, and valued. Most people crave attention but rarely receive it. You stand out instantly just by being curious, warm, and engaged. Story: the president who remembered stable boys. Theodore Roosevelt was known for being magnetic. People loved him. He made everyone feel important. When a guest arrived at his home, Roosevelt would ask, "Before they come, let's study something about what they're passionate about." He would learn about their hobbies, their cities, their families, anything that mattered to them. He showed interest, and in return, people adored him. Application: try this today. Ask people questions like, how did that make you feel? What inspired you to start that? Tell me more about it. Notice what makes their eyes light up. Show enthusiasm for their passions. When you show genuine interest, people feel safe and valued, and they naturally like you. Chapter 2, a simple way to make a good first impression. Principle smile. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but it is one of the most powerful principles in human interaction. Carnegie writes, "A smile says, 'I like you. You make me happy. I'm glad to see you.'" A smile is a universal language. It crosses cultures, bridges differences, and warms hearts. The power of a smile. A real smile softens tension, opens communication, shows friendliness, makes people trust you, changes the emotional atmosphere around you. A frown pushes people away. A smile brings them closer. Story: The $1 Million Smile. Carnegie tells the story of a store clerk who increased sales simply by smiling warmly at customers. People felt welcomed, appreciated, and comfortable, and they bought more. The clerk didn't change the products, he changed the experience. Application: Practice smiling when greeting people. Smile before you answer the phone. Smile when introducing yourself. Smile when entering a room. A smile is free, but its impact is priceless. Chapter 3. If you don't do this, you are headed for trouble principle. Remember that a person's name is to them the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Carnegie says, "The average person is more interested in their own name than all the other names on earth put together." A name isn't just a word, it represents identity, history, family, pride. When you remember someone's name, they feel valued. When you forget it, even by accident, they feel disrespected. Story: Jim Farley, the human name machine. Jim Farley rose from poverty to Postmaster General of the United States. His secret: he remembered names, thousands of them. He could recall people he met years earlier, addressing them by name, remembering details about their families. People trusted him because he made them feel important. Why names matter. Using someone's name builds instant connection, increases trust, shows respect, creates warmth, makes communication smoother. Application: When you meet someone, repeat their name. Use it naturally in conversation. Associate their name with an image to remember it. Your relationships will deepen faster. Chapter 4. An easy way to become a good conversationalist. Principle: Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Carnegie writes, "If you want to be a good conversationalist, be a good listener. If you want people to like you, listen to them." Most people don't need more advice. They need someone who hears them. Why listening is powerful. Good listening makes people feel respected, builds emotional safety, builds trust, deepens relationships, helps you understand motivations. Most people don't listen. They wait for their turn to talk. This is why a true listener becomes instantly attractive and memorable. Story: The Botanist Who Said Nothing. Carnegie tells a story of a botanist who spent hours at a dinner just listening. He hardly spoke, yet the woman he listened to said, "He's the most interesting conversationalist I've ever met." It wasn't what he said, it was how he listened. Application: Maintain eye contact. Nod gently to show engagement. Ask follow-up questions like, "What happened next? How did that affect you?" Become a listener, and you'll become irresistible. Chapter 5. How to interest people. Principle: Talk in terms of the other person's interests. People love to hear about things that matter to them. Carnegie says the royal road to a person's heart is to talk about the things they treasure most. If someone loves football, talk football. If someone loves cooking, talk food. If someone loves business, talk strategy. Speaking their language shows respect. Story: the president who talked about stamps. Carnegie recounts how President Roosevelt made a visitor feel valued by talking about stamps, the visitor's hobby. Roosevelt wasn't interested in stamps, he was interested in the person. This is emotional intelligence. Application: ask, what do they love? What excites them? What hobbies do they have? What challenges do they care about? The more you speak to someone's interests, the more they feel understood. Chapter 6: How to Make People Like You. Instantly. Principle: make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. This is the heart of the whole book. Carnegie says, the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. Not for money, not for beauty, not for talent, for importance. Everyone wants to feel like they matter. Why this is powerful: when you make people feel important, you earn loyalty, you build emotional connection, you inspire cooperation, you create goodwill, you influence naturally. Story: the janitor who saved the company. In one story, a CEO paused and praised a janitor for his hard work. The janitor felt so valued that he later alerted the company about a critical safety issue, preventing a major disaster. Making someone feel important can create effects far beyond what you see. Application: say things like, your insights really helped today. I admire the way you handled that situation. Thank you for being reliable, and mean it. Sincerity is key. When you make others feel important, you become unforgettable. Midpoint reminder: MindLift Success Academy. You're halfway through part 2 and you're growing with every minute. Subscribe to MindLift Success Academy. Give this video a like, share, read it with someone. Your growth is inspiring others. End of part 2. You now understand the 6 psychological keys that make people naturally like you. Part 3: how to win people to your way of thinking. This section is where influence meets strategy. Carnegie reveals how to guide conversations, shape opinions, and inspire cooperation without causing resentment. These principles are essential for leaders, entrepreneurs, and anyone who wants to create positive impact in relationships or business. Chapter 1: you can't win an argument. Principle: avoid arguments. They are unwinnable. Carnegie's opening line is blunt. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Think about it. Even if you win an argument, the other person often feels defeated, humiliated, or resentful. You may have proved a point, but lost a relationship. Why arguments fail? Human beings rarely change their mind when attacked. Pride and ego prevent rational reflection. Emotional reactions override logic. Story: Lincoln's strategy. Abraham Lincoln avoided unnecessary disputes and used subtle persuasion instead. By never humiliating others, he gained cooperation and loyalty from political rivals. Application: listen carefully before responding. Ask questions instead of asserting opinions. Focus on finding common ground. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Dale Carnegie. Chapter 2: a sure way of making enemies and how to avoid it. Principle: never tell someone they are wrong. Directly telling someone you are wrong triggers defensiveness. Carnegie says, he who can make a person feel important will win their loyalty and trust. Instead of criticizing, ask gentle questions. Lead the person to see the error themselves. Use stories or examples to illustrate a point. Story: John D. Rockefeller. Rockefeller rarely criticized publicly. Instead, he guided colleagues and partners with diplomacy. His way preserved trust and created lifelong cooperation. Application: Replace "you're wrong" with "oh, I may be mistaken, but have you considered, oh, could we look at it this way?" Respect preserves relationships and opens minds. Chapter 3. If you're wrong, admit it. Principle: take responsibility for your mistakes quickly and sincerely. Carnegie writes, by admitting your mistakes, you disarm critics and inspire respect. Pride prevents many people from apologizing, but humility creates trust. Story: Henry Ford. Ford would openly admit mistakes in production or management. Employees respected him more because he was honest and humble. Application: own up to your errors immediately. Say, oh, I made a mistake, and here's how I'll fix it. Transparency builds credibility. Chapter 4. A drop of honey. Principle: begin in a friendly way. Carnegie writes, a drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. Even difficult conversations are easier if you start with warmth instead of criticism. Application: smile or show friendliness at the start. Use compliments or shared goals. Focus on building trust before tackling issues. Chapter 5. The Secret of Socrates. Principle: get agreement by starting with yes, yes. Carnegie introduces the Socratic method. Begin by asking questions that the other person will agree with. Lead them to say yes several times. Gradually introduce your point of view, why it works. People like to be consistent. Starting with agreement reduces defensiveness. Cooperation grows naturally. Story: business negotiations. A manager used this approach to resolve disputes without confrontation. By guiding employees to agree on small points first, larger agreements were reached harmoniously. Chapter 6. The safety valve in handling complaints. Principle: let the other person do a great deal of the talking. People want to be heard more than they want to be told what to do. Story: the customer service secret. Carnegie tells of a manager who let angry clients speak for 10-15 minutes. By the time they finished, their anger had diminished, and solutions became easier. Application: practice reflective listening. Oh, I understand. Tell me more. Oh, how did that make you feel? Chapter 7. How to get cooperation. Principle: let the other person feel the idea is theirs. Carnegie explains, people are more committed to what they help create. Even if the idea originates from you, frame it so the other person sees it as collaborative. Story: team leadership. A team leader who made members feel ownership over a project received enthusiastic effort. Those who were told what to do produced minimal results. Chapter 8. Right. A formula that will work wonders for you. Principle: see things from the other person's point of view. Empathy is the most powerful tool in human interaction. Step into their shoes. Understand their desires, fears, and motivations. Speak in terms of their perspective. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Application: before giving feedback or persuading, ask, how would I feel if I were them? What do they need most right now? Chapter 9. What everybody wants. Principle: be sympathetic to others' ideas and desires. Sympathy builds bridges. Acknowledge feelings even if you disagree. Make people feel understood, not judged. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Story: a politician's winning strategy. By acknowledging constituents' struggles sincerely, politicians gain trust even when solutions were complex. Chapter 10. An appeal that everybody likes. Principle: appeal to noble motives. People like to think their actions are driven by good intentions. Frame requests as supporting high principles. Inspire pride and integrity. A person will usually have two reasons for doing something: one that sounds good and the real one. Appeal to the one that sounds good. Chapter 11. The movies do it. TV does it. Why don't you? Principle. Dramatize your ideas. Humans respond to vivid images, stories, and emotion. Facts alone rarely persuade. Use metaphors, anecdotes, and stories to make your point unforgettable. Chapter 12. When nothing else works, try this principle challenge. Healthy competition motivates. Give people a sense of pride in achievement. Use encouragement, not threats. Midpoint reminder. MindLift Success Academy. If you've gained value from these principles so far, subscribe, like, shares. This ensures MindLift Success Academy continues to bring you premium, life-changing content. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without offense or resentment. Carnegie understood that true leadership is not about commanding. It's about inspiring. It's about guiding without creating resentment. It's about nurturing growth while maintaining respect. These principles are essential for leaders, managers, parents, and anyone seeking meaningful influence in life. Chapter 1. If you must find fault, this is the way to begin. Principle. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. Before pointing out mistakes, Carnegie teaches, begin with praise and honest appreciation. It softens the impact of criticism. Why this works? Humans are sensitive to judgment. If you start with recognition, you prepare hearts for constructive guidance. Story. The teacher who transformed students. A teacher praised students' efforts before correcting mistakes. Instead of resistance, students became eager to improve. One student said, "It feels like they believe in me. Now I want to do better." Application. Start with something positive. "Oh, I love the effort you put into this project." Then gently guide corrections. "Oh, let's try this approach to make it even stronger." Chapter 2. How to criticize and not be hated for it. Principle. Call attention to mistakes indirectly. Carnegie explains, calling attention to people's mistakes indirectly preserves their dignity. How to apply. Use questions instead of commands. "Oh, do you think it might work better if we try this way?" Give examples rather than direct accusations. "Oh, I noticed in some cases using X improved results." Indirect correction reduces defensiveness and inspires change. Chapter 3. Talk about your own mistakes. First principle, lead by example and humility. Carnegie writes, by discussing your own mistakes before criticizing others, you make them more receptive. Story. The manager who admitted mistakes. A manager admitted to misjudging timelines before suggesting improvements to the team. Employees were inspired to admit their own errors and take initiative. Application. Share your own learning experiences. Frame suggestions as collaborative improvements. Humility inspires cooperation. Chapter 4. No one likes to take orders. Principle. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. People resist commands. They embrace participation. Instead of "do this now," ask, "Could we try this approach together?" Or, "Would you mind giving this a try?" Story. The coach who asked a football coach asked players what strategies they preferred. Players performed better because they felt ownership. Chapter 5. Let the other person save face principle. Protect dignity at all times. Never embarrass someone publicly. Even minor loss of pride can destroy relationships. Quote, "A person can forget what you said, but never how you made them feel." Application. Correct privately. Be gentle with language. Always respect the other person's identity. Chapter 6, How to Spur People onto Success Principle, Praise Improvements, even the smallest ones. Carnegie emphasizes reinforcement. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. Story: The Teacher Who Changed Lives. A teacher praised a child's small writing improvement. The child, motivated by recognition, became a top student. Application: Celebrate progress. Highlight effort and results. Encourage repeated excellence. Chapter 7, Give a Dog a Good Name Principle. Assign a positive reputation for someone to live up to. People strive to live up to the labels we give them. Tell an employee, "You're a natural problem solver." They will rise to that standard. Story: The CEO Who Believed in Employees. A CEO gave his junior staff titles like expert analyst. They adopted these roles, exceeding expectations. Chapter 8, 1. Make the fault seem easy to correct principle. Encourage by simplifying challenges. People are motivated when tasks feel achievable. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Show confidence in others. Application: Break problems into manageable steps. Express belief in their ability. Encourage rather than overwhelm. Chapter 9, Make people glad to do what you want. Principle: Inspire enthusiasm by aligning actions with desires. Show how the action benefits the other person. Make them feel involved, valued, and motivated. Story: The Supervisor Who Inspired Teamwork. A supervisor asked, "How would you like to improve this project?" Employees embraced responsibility, working with pride. Final thoughts: MindLift Success Academy. Congratulations! You've journeyed through 4 parts and 30+ chapters of one of the most transformative books ever written. Here's the key takeaway: influence comes from understanding, appreciation, empathy, and respect. Leadership comes from inspiring, guiding, and protecting dignity. Relationships flourish when people feel valued, heard, and important. If you apply just a few of these principles consistently, your personal and professional life will transform. Closing message and call to action. Before you go, here's your MindLift Success Academy reminder. Subscribe for weekly motivational and self-development content. Like this video, share it with someone who is ready to elevate their life. Comment below what principle you will implement first. Remember, when you elevate your mind, you transform your life. MindLift Success Academy. Thank you for joining this transformational journey. See you in the next episode of MindLift Success Academy, where your growth never stops.